Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Chainsaw Man chapters 114 onward. Not sure how many we'll do tonight. So yeah, either way, I don't think there's too much to talk about before we start reading. I'm really liking the characters in part 2, but I've already said that a bunch. We've got an imposter Chainsaw Man, which I think is a really intriguing idea, and now Fami has put us in this situation where the Eternity Devil is back, and we're trapped again with just Asa and Denji here, which is going to lead to them getting closer as characters, but how, like, closer in a good way, in a bad way, that's what I guess we'll have to see this time around. So I'm excited to see what they decide to do with all this writing-wise, and yeah, let's just start reading chapter 114. As always, this is like an actual Shueisha Jump series, so I can't, like, show it on screen. We just have the volume cover up. So, we got chapter 114, Endless Aquarium. How long is this hallway? We must have walked 100 meters. I told you, it's this Eternity Devil thing. Oh, shut up. You aren't even a devil hunter. Quit making things up. Hey, I know more about devils than you think. Even if he can't just outright say that he's Chainsaw Man, I know he wants to. Like, even if nobody will believe him without, like, seeing, I feel like he could still say, like, I was a devil hunter in the past. Well, I know more. I'm in the Devil Hunter Club. It's true. She does know more about devils. Oh, and the club shows up. Hey, what a coincidence running into you here. And especially because we know that the club and Fami are working together. And not only are they working together, but this guy is, like, we don't know if he's the imposter Chainsaw Man that seemingly killed Yuko, or if he is, like, just a different imposter Chainsaw Man. We know he's pretending to be Chainsaw Man, but we don't know if he was the one who was doing things. Hey, what a coincidence running into you here. Who the hell are you? The Devil Hunter Club? Who the hell are you? What a dirty mouth. But alright, if you want to know, I can answer that. I'm the Devil Hunter Club president / student council president. Haruka Ise Heidenji. You're Yoshida. What the hell are you doing here? It's another coincidence. I just felt like looking at fish today, so I came to the aquarium, and next thing I know, we've been trapped in here by a nasty devil. It's very similar to the first setup where they had, I guess, 6 people. I thought this was just going to be the 2 of them, but if it is just the 6, then we actually have a 6-person group this time around, just like last time. President, that's him. Hirofumi Yoshida. The guy who went from civilian devil hunter to public safety devil hunter while still in high school. Curiouser and curiouser. Well, I am the Devil Hunter Club president / student council president. Haruka, I knew it. We're trapped. This isn't a dream, or we're under attack by a real-life devil. Then, I never wanted to join the Devil Hunter Club. My mom made me. She said it'd get me scholarships. And we're having these characters almost repeating the cycle that we saw before. Is that a part of eternity? Is like there going to be some meta thing here? Like with some, there's like with some series like Berserk, for example, you get into like fates and laws of causality and things ending up certain ways. Is the world of Chainsaw Man kind of bound to a certain logic as well? Because it's like we're having Kobani just all over again. This place gets a lot of devil activity, so we were on patrol here. You guys must have noticed too. And again, if it's not because of Fami's planning, then it is a crazy coincidence that they end up here. The same with Denji. It isn't really, like, Yoshida being here isn't really that surprising, because he's probably just following Denji around all the time. A devil's power is making this hallway go on forever. It looks like there's no way out unless either outside help arrives or we kill the devil. Did you dudes see the devil anywhere? No. You aren't leaving this aquarium until you can turn Denji into a weapon. This is interesting in the sense that last time the devil got killed because it tried to just be like, oh, I can just eat chainsaw. But now that it knows, now that the Eternity Devil knows that's not going to work, how, like, what happens now? Does it just say, okay, you're trapped in here, and it doesn't try to wait, or doesn't try to eat Denji, so they're just trapped in this infinitely repeating space with no way for Denji to jump into its mouth and make it want to kill itself once again? Then again, does it even remember that? Because if you die and then go to hell and then die in hell and come back to the human world again, or get transported to the human world if it didn't die in hell, either way, however it got here, like, it probably shouldn't have memories anymore anyway. My name is Haruka Iseumi. As Devil Hunter Club president, I ask that you obey my orders in this situation. From this point on, we have two goals: to exterminate the devil and to survive. Oh yeah, he's Chainsaw Man. Then as long as I do as he says, maybe I can get out of here without turning Denji into a weapon. And Asa is very mistaken. Actually, if I can kill him, I won't need to turn anyone into a weapon. I could get my body back from Yoru without causing trouble for any more people. Then again, there's no way I can kill him on my own. Can I really turn Denji into a weapon, though? Is she okay? I don't know. And again, I think with all of this, it seems like we're maybe setting up for Endgame to be her using him as a weapon and he's a chainsaw. And we have a shot of the six of them walking in tow. The one on the other shoulders to check up top. And much like the hotel from before, it was a hotel, right? I'm like, what other building would look like that? I guess it could have been an apartment building that would look like that, but I think it was a hotel. But much like that, it just, even if you go up, it just keeps repeating. Phew, they rest in one of the rooms. We're lucky the aquarium had this room. Must be an employee lounge or something. There's drinking water in the fridge, and more water in the identical fridge. In the identical lounge 20 meters down the hall. And if you keep going up floors and like stuff like that, could you potentially get infinite water? In other words, if we keep moving from lounge to lounge, we'll never go thirsty. Yeah, basically. But we need food or we'll starve to death. And then they come in. We found a room connected to the fish tanks and took some fish from it. If we cook them, it should be enough food to last us a while. But an aquarium won't have a fire source. I have some. Fire. My bullies make me light their cigarettes, so I carry a lighter. We can start a fire big enough to cook the fish using the lounge newspapers as kindling. That solves our food problem. I can't eat fish. Why not? Are you allergic? Fish just looks too much like a dead animal. It grosses me out. This is a survival situation. And then she gets embarrassed. I'm going to take a quick look outside. She stomps away. And Denji's out there. What are you doing? Nothing? Then why'd you make a noise like I caught you red-handed? There's 1,000 yen in a bag on the ground. I was picking it up. That's theft. You're a thief. Then again, if you keep going through the cycle, you could get 1,000 yen for each cycle. Finders keepers, it's my money. I'm not handing it over to anybody. You're the only one who isn't helping out. Aren't you ashamed? What'd you do to help then? And she gets embarrassed again. Whatever. Go to hell, you thief. Say what? You go to hell. They just both yell go to hell repeatedly at each other. What's wrong with him? I went on a date with him and he acts like that. Maybe I should turn him into a weapon. Right, Yoru? And this whole time, not only has Yoru not said anything, but we haven't had Yoru intruding. Well, I guess intruding on her thoughts would be saying stuff. But we haven't even seen her background reactions to stuff, which is something that we've seen all the time, constantly up until now. And this is the only time we haven't seen it really since then with Asa. So Asa's been alone since this whole thing started. And I wonder if that's part of Fami's ability, where I said since Fami is famine, I was like, is part of her ability, since Yoru can turn things into weapons, can famine take things away, at least temporarily? So take Yoru away temporarily. to leave Asa alone. And we know that that's something that they mentioned. Like last chapter. I'm not a loser like Denji. I have to contribute to the group somehow. Not the fact that she can take things away, but the fact that Asa would have time to think about what to do with Denji alone. And then, oh. Mitaka, is that a cellular phone? You have one as a student? Oh yeah, even then, this seems early even for a flip phone, because are we in the 2000s by now? I mean, it hasn't been that long of a time skip. So this is like either like late 90s or early 2000s, right? So it would be like really rare to just have a flip phone like that. Yeah, well, technically it's my mom's. Does it have a signal? Oh, it had a bar for a second there. Or maybe like my view of time is skewed, because I didn't get a cell phone until 8th grade, so I was like older than a lot of other people in class were getting them. So I'm just thinking of cell phones as like a late 2000s to early 2010s kind of thing, but actually there probably were, like in the early 2000s and maybe even late 90s, there probably were people just with older phones. It had a bar for a second there. Had a girl, track down that signal. Then we can call for help from the devil hunters on the outside. Higher, the signal will be higher. She did it. That seems like it shouldn't work. Oh, thank gosh, I'm gonna live. It feels like there's a signal around here. Do high schoolers these days own cell phones? Luckily for us, Mitaka's ahead of the times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All we need to do now is sit back and wait for rescue. And then she falls and smashes it. And then everyone's reactions. I like Yoshida laughing. No way. You complain, you aren't a team player, and you fail to come through in the clutch. I expected better from you. The look of disappointment. He just waits alone in the hallway. That seemed like such a long one. We approached to dropping the phone in the end. Wow, that was such a that seemed like such a like long Chainsaw Man chapter. I'm so used to Chainsaw Man chapters just feeling really short. That one didn't feel really short like they usually do. That was very fun though. I like this rehash of part 1, and I'm curious how much part 2 is going to be doing that. How much part 2 is going to mirror or reflect or juxtapose against. Like, what's it going to be like in comparison to part 1? But either way, continuing on, let's go to chapter 115. We have chapter 115, High Schoolers These Days. Then, this is the Aquarium from hell. Once you go in, you'll never get out. The hallway goes on endlessly, and clock hands don't move. Alright, I was just checking the time, seeing if it meant anything, but I don't know if it really does. You can't flush the toilets, and the fish started rotting in their tanks yesterday. We'd have escaped by now if you just hadn't broken that cell phone. You know, it feels like I'm surprised that Eternity is... You would think that Eternity, it goes on space-wise. You could just keep going down this hallway and it goes on forever. But time-wise, it seems like time has stopped. And we know from part 1 that time did stop while they were in there or whatever. But it feels like if time was stopped, you would think that it would be stopped for all of them in there as well. Like, they wouldn't really... Like, even them, when they're searching for food and water, you'd think they really wouldn't need to if time was stopped. But maybe Eternity Devil can decide what it wants to or doesn't want to stop time for. And it doesn't like fish. We'd have escaped by now if you just hadn't broken that cell phone. And it's weird that he's out here with her just to say things like that. Like, I feel like he is maybe I'm conspiracy brained, especially with him pretending to be Chainsaw Man. It feels like he's somehow in on this. You're Chainsaw Man. Why don't you do something? I'm Chainsaw Man? What are you talking about? The starter on your chest. Oh, that. That's a surgical implant. It's one of the reasons they say I'm the man who comes closest to Chainsaw Man. What? President of the Chainsaw Man Society's high school chapter. Runner-up in the Chainsaw Man quiz show contest. Owner of every piece of Chainsaw Man merchandise. I can't blame you for thinking I was him. So you aren't Chainsaw Man? And he laughs. If I were Chainsaw Man, we could have broken out of this hellhole in no time. Save me, Chainsaw Man. I'm in here. And then SOS, SOS to Chainsaw Man. That's your cue, Chainsaw Man. Isn't there something you can do? Says Yoshida. I was able to kill the devil last time because it came at us. This one's nowhere to be found. My hands are tied. Can't you do something? He pulls out a cell phone. You had one too. Unfortunately, a signal alone isn't enough to get a call out. It feels like it's been over 3 days. If help hasn't arrived by now, I'm guessing time inside the aquarium has stopped. And again, that just, makes sense. It makes sense that I'm like, if you were trapped in here, even if you wouldn't be able to call anybody from in here, it feels like. It feels like you wouldn't be able to get a signal in general. The others all seem to have given up. We have this one guy practicing punches, the other licking the glass. To be honest, even I've made peace with death this time. Do you think Chainsaw Man would eat it, or would eat it for us? The Death Devil. The others are all starting to lose it. You holding up okay? And she's just sitting in the fish water. I'm hungry. Go eat some fish. I can't eat fish. Oh yeah. I'm sorry for asking you on a date. It's my fault you got mixed up in this. You won't understand this, but I was trying to turn you into a weapon. But even cornered and starving like this, I just can't do it. Not because I don't have the guts, or because it goes against my principles. The real reason I can't is because I have no idea what's right or wrong. My life is just one long string of attempts to avoid making mistakes. That's why. That's why I'm a total bore. What are you muttering to yourself about? And he sits down with her. You can't eat fish, right? Ever tried starfish? And it ends with poached eye and starfish. That was a really good last scene. Asa's character's really been good. I really, really like Asa's character, and I kind of like her journey so far in part 2 more than Denji's in part 1. But I think these last 2 chapters have made me appreciate Denji more than I have lately. Just in the sense that, he's just the right amount of just stupid, chaotic, goofy to, be so entertaining in the world that's been set up here. And I never know, with these characters that are with us, these 3 randoms, I'm like, are they going to be important? Are they going to matter? Or not? Because, if we go back, I think Himeno mattered a lot, but for a little while. The importance was high in level, but low in duration for Himeno. And then Arai did things that mattered, played into the overall arc of the story. So Arai mattered, but not really that much. And then Kobani, again, mattered not that much, but the longevity was really, really there with Kobani. And it just makes me see these 3 randoms, and it's like, are any of these 3 going to matter? Are they going to be important? Are they going to even be around in the future? Are we going to drop them, kill them off? What's up? What's going on with them? And also, again, like Denji said, if the devil never comes for him and tries to kill him, he can't really do anything. If it just hides, I don't even know what hiding means. If he tried to tear the place up, is the place technically a part of the inside of the Eternity Devil? I don't really think so. So it's how do they actually get out? Unless we know that Fami said whatever she did would only last for a little bit of time. Maybe then maybe then the time limit on whatever Fammy's doing runs out, and that might change things. And maybe Yoru comes back, but even then I'm not 100% sure how it helps unless the randoms get turned into weapons. Also, the one random, he said his name a million times and I'm still not remembering it. Issei something. Haruka Issei something. He was very entertaining. He's just an extreme Chainsaw Man fanboy. Again, this whole setup, the whole world of Chainsaw Man is interesting. So let's see where it goes from here. Let's go to the next chapter. Chapter 116, Taste of Starfish. And we still have the one licking the glass. That type isn't edible. Same for that type and that type too. That one's edible. You can technically eat starfish, but are we really going to? You can't eat fish, right? Then starfish is your only choice. But they're toxic. You have to boil them to make them safe to eat. No problems there. What'd I tell ya? There's a random pot lid in here. We can boil them in that. For the fire, I swipe that glass liquor's lighter. Let's chow down on some starfish. Then, why are there so many school hats in here? I collected them to sell them when we get back. Why are you so obsessed with making money? Oh, I got this sorta friend, sorta little sister living with me. She's smart enough to go to college. I'm saving up for her tuition. College is crazy expensive, right? See, my life was always crappy before. I want her to have a normal life. Oh, I think it's ready. I don't think you can have a normal life in the world of Chainsaw Man. Like, people are straight up just getting picked off by devils left and right all the time. You're supposed to split it open and eat the meat inside. That's hot. Tastes like a gross sea urchin. It's not enough. What are those fish? I dried them. Can I have some? Huh, fine by me. Thought you couldn't eat fish, though. She tries. Yeah, you're fun. Fun. What you say is totally boring, but you're interesting to watch. Yeah, that's right. I'm an interesting woman. Yeah. I'm fun, right? Yeah. I'm glad you noticed. You have a good eye. Charming, aren't I? Aren't I? I like that attitude. Reminds me of an old friend. Huh? It's good, right? She looks at the hats. And then, Denji, I think I have a way out of here. Help me. What's the plan? We collect money. Then we see them running down the hallway. There's 1,000 yen in the backpack on the ground. There's also this wallet in the lounge with 14,000 yen inside. Let's steal that too. Hell yeah. I love it. That's such a great exchange. We have the two of them running through the halls. And I love that this shot. This is a really interesting shot. There are a lot of shots in Chainsaw Man that this reminds me of, actually. Because I feel like you get that when you read a certain manga when it's gone on for over 100 chapters, where you start to see certain shots that the mangaka really likes. Like, you can tell a lot with Hero Academia. There's a lot of shots when it's like, okay, Horikoshi really likes this shot, so he does this kind of shot a lot. We see this kind of shot a lot, but what this specifically reminded me of was Makima and Denji walking toward the door with the Paradise Lost painting in the background. And instead, we have him following Asa this time with the rotting fish in the tank behind them. It reminds me of that panel and that page. Alright. Together with the money I collected, it's over 1 million yen. So, what do we do with it? Give it all to me. The hell, not on your life. Is she going to try to say all this money is mine and I'm going to make it into a weapon? Once we're out of here, I'll grant you any request. Help yourself. And then immediately changes up. While I'm at it, just for now, do exactly as I say. Yes, ma'am. Okay, go over there, close your eyes, and cover your ears. Yes, ma'am. He just immediately reverts to listening to everything somebody else says. Have some confidence, Asa. It doesn't matter how crazy the logic is. It's a matter of my own perception. I pay the 1,000,000 yen in this bag to buy this aquarium. Oh? Aquarium spear. Oh! That wasn't what I was expecting. I thought she was going to make the money into a weapon, but if she says, I have, 1,000,000 yen isn't really a lot to buy an entire aquarium, actually, is it? No, that's actually an insanely lowball amount to buy an entire aquarium, you would think. Unless, again, inflation in the Chainsaw Man world or deflation is insanely nuts because of everybody being dead all the time. But being like, okay, I convince myself that I can buy this aquarium, therefore the aquarium's mine, and so I can make it into a weapon. And if you make the aquarium into a weapon, do you actually end up outside or just in, just empty space? But, okay, very interesting. I was going to end after this, but I want to go longer. I don't think that's a good place to end, so even though it's nearly midnight, I'll continue on. Let's go to chapter I was about to say 1117. I was about to go full One Piece on you. No, 117. Chapter 117, Penguin and Weapon. We have this rumbling. Wait a sec. What am I doing? I made up my mind to quit it with the mindless obedience. But if I obey her, she'll grant me any request. He sees a penguin. It's a penguin! And he's standing out in the middle of the street. We have this devil that looks somewhat like there are those monsters from Sons of the Forest that look like that with the fingers around like a mouth. There's probably also other series that do that. Also kind of reminds me of the Dark Souls 2 giants with the whole faces. A measly 1,000,000 yen can't buy an aquarium, you moron. But she's dumb enough for it to work. That plan might just be stupid enough not to get us all killed. We see the aquarium spear. We got out? Famine, that bitch. This wasn't the deal. Damn it, to hell with you. And he goes for the attack, but stopped by the octopus. I need you to die. Thanks, though. The skies never looked more beautiful to me. You taught me to appreciate it. And the arm's torn off. The guilt of ruining an aquarium. You really feel guilty over that. That's just like you, Asa. And Yoru's back. Okay. Because, yeah, the guilt makes it stronger. And the guilt over ruining an aquarium by, just making it vanish and all the fish are dying. Die. She attacks with the aquarium spear. 1,000,000's not enough, you say? I've got the rest right here. Take it. And she throws the spear through, and it erupts in sea creatures. Then, Asamitaka. That power, could it be? He's so cute, I want to keep him. And Denji just completely not paying attention to any of this. We have Famine looking on. So much for that idea. Yoshida locks eyes. Okay. The aquarium worker taking the penguin back. Then Asa and Denji. Thanks for walking me home. That had to be the worst date ever. It wasn't so bad. I got to touch a penguin. Oh yeah? Yeah. Hey, you said you'd grant me any request, right? I did. In that case, go on another date with me. Huh? I have more experience dating. I'll teach you how to have the best dates ever. Okay, teach me. He holds up a peace sign. I see. This feeling must be love, says Yoru. Can't believe I'd feel any affection for this punk. It's only possible because I share your brain. Right! Excuse me? So we can have Yoru say things that Asa's feeling, but Asa herself won't say. But also, because they share a brain half and half, Yoru is bound to the whims, the emotions, the feelings of Asa in some way. So if it comes like way down to it. There's been this idea that Yoru could just take over and be super evil, devil, whatever. Asa would never get her body back. But actually, is that even true? Like, if push comes to shove, later on in the series, if we get down to it, because Yoru is half of Asa at this point, can Asa just suppress, like choose to suppress her in the future? In fact, not only choose to suppress her, but is there a chance that the two of them get closer and closer together until they're eventually just one and the same? Instead of being half Asa's brain, half Yoru's brain, do we get to a point in the future where it's just one brain and Asa and Yoru aren't really two different personalities anymore, they're just the same? If so, I think that'd actually be a really great ending for the character. Like having Asa and Yoru just become one fully. Still, this means we can proceed with the plan. Like, it feels like each of them just could have something that the other's lacking. And they could just, like, all the parts of Asa that she doesn't like about herself, as she grows as a person, and as Yoru also changes, then those two ending up just kind of as one identity would be a crazy cool way to write this. What? And then thwack. Denji, spinal cord sword. Already? Okay, again, I'm not ending on that. I can definitely go one more. Definitely feels like that's either A, just not going to work because he's a devil and maybe there's some hierarchy to things, like you can't use it on a devil that's stronger than yourself. B, it won't work just because, you know, she doesn't view Denji as hers yet. Or like C, yeah, there was one more thing, but I forgot it. There was like one really important thing here, but I forgot about it. But also, here's the thing. She's saying this out. Oh, yeah, see, or she can just do it, but then it's reversible and she can just turn him back. We haven't seen them be able to reverse anything from weapon back to what it was before yet, but we don't know that it's impossible yet. It could technically be possible, even though I don't really think so. But either way, Denji will probably now be like, what are you doing? That's really weird. Why'd you hit me on the head and say that? That's a very strange thing to say. Either way, let's keep reading though. I might try to end it after this one, end the video that is. We'll see though. But we start off with birds flying away. Again, we've been using this a lot. An absolute ton in part 2. And again, at the very beginning, it was titled Bird and War. The War Devil was originally portrayed as a small bird. We're using the bird imagery a lot here. Chapter 118, Saying Goodbye. Denji spinal cord sword, he says. And then, Denji spinal cord sword, says Yoru. Denji spinal cord sword, and she's repeating it even more. He's just dumbfounded. Asa spinal cord sword. That's a fun way to say goodbye. See ya. Again, just enough of a complete buffoon to make it hilarious. And then, what the heck are you doing? Think Crappy didn't turn into a weapon. Again, and if it seems like a waste, like Yoru is not good at this. I mentioned before how Yoru's way too hasty and kind of dumb in a lot of ways. Because Yoru, like, this would have been such a wasted opportunity to turn him into a weapon now before falling even more in love. And also, even if you turned him to a weapon now, do you just carry that weapon around with you? Like, what do you even, like, and you're like, okay, like, that doesn't help you get any closer to killing Chainsaw Man. I mean, technically it would, but they don't know that because they don't know he's Chainsaw Man yet. But still, let's say he wasn't Chainsaw Man, that wouldn't get you any closer to killing Chainsaw Man. And also, just the spinal cord sword seems, again, weak. Like, compared to what you could do. So yeah, Yoru just seems way too hasty. Why couldn't I turn him? You'd hit it off so well. It means he doesn't like me that way, right? Not that I care, since I don't like him either. No matter. We discovered that we can also share emotions like affection. We'll take our time winning the boy's heart while we search for Chainsaw Man. You barely slept while you were trapped in the aquarium, right? I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. What's the deal with that girl who trapped us in there? Isn't she your big sister? That was Famine Devil. I hadn't seen her in so long that I didn't recognize her. Famine is crazy. Whatever you do, steer clear of her. Even though she's your family, she flops onto the bed. Hey, take a bath before bed. She just falls asleep. Then Asa's left to think about Denji. He said those things, but he doesn't like me. Excuse me? Even after all that, he doesn't like me? Unbelievable, he's so irritating. I hate him. Here's my super best ever date plan. The local movie theater's running an all-night movie marathon tonight. We'll watch mummy movies non-stop until 2 a.m. for only 2,000 yen. Awesome, right? Let's do it. It costs 2,000 yen? Huh? But you can watch as many mummy movies as you want. Wouldn't video rentals be cheaper? I don't want to go on any pricey dates. I mean, sure, that works too. You got a VCR at home? No, what about you? I do. Then let's do it at your place. It's way cheaper that way. Huh? You want to come over? What, is that no good? We don't have to have a date then. No way. Ugh. The B-star is groaning from multitudinous anxieties. Okay. We can watch movies at my place, but on one condition. You have to follow our home's rules. Huh? Rules? Yeah. Ones you can't break no matter what. What happens if you break them? Worst case scenario, you break the rules and you die. Did he say you die? And the fanboys listening on. And we see Pochita with the spear at the end of this one for some reason. Okay then. Interesting that Pochita shows up here but didn't last chapter. And I don't think the chapter before either. Just thinking about things. Either way though, I think this is a good enough place to end on, so I'll end this video here, and then of course next week we can read more. We're catching up pretty quick though. We're catching up pretty fast, and I don't know if I want to be caught up. Then I'll just be stuck waiting every week for just one chapter, when, like I've said, Chainsaw Man chapters usually feel really, really, really short. Even if they aren't, They just feel that way sometimes because so much of the story is just told through the visuals. So much information is given to you from the visuals alone. So there isn't really a lot of dialogue all the time that you have to go through. It's not, everything's not just spelled out for you that way. Oh well. Either way, I'll end things here. This was really, really good though. I like the way that arc went. I'm still curious if these characters, the background characters, are going to be important whatsoever. The Denji and Asa stuff is pretty interesting. I think the characters are good. Either way though, ending here. Like if you did like the video, comment on there. Tell me what you thought of these chapters, what you thought of my thoughts and first reaction and all that. Subscribe for more Chainsaw Man, much more on the channel. We can talk down in the comments or wherever else. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you want to follow on Twitter, you can as well. We can talk there too. And if you want to help support the channel, you could drop a super thanks down below if you'd like to, or if you want One Piece videos a little bit early, if you want to get a shout out at the end of every video. Sorry, I got distracted because I just remembered I wanted to update the patrons and members things earlier today, but I forgot to. I still need to go do that. I guess maybe I'll try to do it tonight. But yeah. Either way, thank you so much to people who are already patrons and channel members. Sorry again if anything's changed. I haven't updated this in a couple days, and I forgot to go look today. Chosen Regular, Evan Holly, Magical Girls, Efranono, Abyss Knight, and JH, Irritant Students, David Langstaff, and Folded Ghoul, Slayer, Candidates, SG, and Stan Eater, and Pure Element, Pate Ardeal. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.